All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the CB Sports Podcast. It has been quite some time since I've done one of these, but I am back today with a new episode, and I'm very excited. I'm going back to my roots. My very first podcast episode, I talked about the Patriots with my good buddy, my Patriots correspondent, Clyde Munnings. He will be joining me here in just a minute, and we will be looking at the Patriots offseason with the Super Bowl being tomorrow and the 2023-2024 season almost over. I think Patriots fans are looking forward to what will hopefully be a fresh start, what will hopefully be a bright future. So we'll be looking at the changes to the coaching staff. We will be discussing what we think the Patriots need to do in the draft, as well as possible trades or free agent acquisitions. These are always a lot of fun, so I'm really looking forward to hearing what Clyde has to say. And without further ado, let's bring him in.
Hey, what's up, man?
Clyde, how's it going?
All good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah. Good to see you, man. Good to
All
see
right,
you.
right on. Yeah, it's good to see you too. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I think
How
since
you
the
been?
last time we did one of these.
Yeah, it's
Um,
years.
hmm I've been good, man. I've been good. I can't complain.
Good.
How you been?
Yeah, good. Just working hard and doing what I can. I was just saying I was just getting over I fractured a rib, which was rough and kind of
Mm.
put this whole podcast thing on hold, but it's great to be back here with you, dude. It's exciting.
Yeah, man.
So I figured that today, we would kind of, do a brief recap of, our thoughts on the past season, which was it was tough. And
Oh
then
yeah, tough is light work.
yeah, I'd say that's an understatement. And then kind of, look at the changes to the coaching staff, which is really a almost complete overhaul, and talk
Hmm
some draft and maybe offseason needs. Whether it be drafting a quarterback, trading for a quarterback, other needs on the roster. So yeah, if it's good with you,
Yeah.
let's dive into it.
All right.
All right, let me see what I got here. Hang on 1 second. Oh, there we go. That's what I need. Okay. All right. Gotta move this.
hmm
All right, can you see that all right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, so the 2023-2024 season overview, I think those two pictures kind of sum it up. Um, Clyde, I've been watching this team since I was 6 years old, and this might be the worst Patriots team of my lifetime. It really was a hard watch. I don't normally turn games off. I don't normally walk away. I try to hang in there, but they really tested my patience and my faith as a fan at times this year.
I mean, it was their worst record under Bill Belichick ever. So that could very well be very true to what you're saying about it being the worst you've ever seen. It's worse than a lot of younger Patriots fans have ever seen, like who grew up within the dynasty, they haven't seen the team be that bad.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and when I first started watching them, it was the Drew Bledsoe days, and there was kind of mixed. It was kind of a mixed bag. They went to a Super Bowl. Bledsoe had some good years. There were some lean years there, but you know, Bill took over, I think, when you and I were probably, going into middle school, and for
Hmm
for a very long time we were pretty spoiled, and now we're kind of seeing the other end of it, and
Yeah, I think we're spoiled in a way that no other football team will ever see. I don't think that there will ever be a run this long. Um, I just don't
yeah,
think 20 years is a very long time to be dominant in
absolutely.
football.
Right, because even if I mean, Tom Brady obviously had a lot to do with that, along with Bill Belichick. But even if you look at other greats, Brady, I would put in, only with a handful of guys, and I think of Michael Jordan. But even what Michael Jordan did was in a much shorter stretch of time. I mean, he didn't have a 20-year career and he walked away for a while.
No, I think was Kareem had a was it 19.
Yeah, yeah, no, Kareem, yeah, that's a good example of longevity and success. Absolutely. Um, and I would put him up there too, but it's a very interesting time and for as bad as it went, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who he's actually a Jets fan, so he has had a miserable experience, but he's like it's got to be interesting and it is, it's different.
Hmm.
But anyway, so just to get the particulars out of the way of our season, we were 4-13, ranked fourth in the AFC East, which has dramatically improved, I would say, over the past 2-3 years. I mean,
Hmm.
Bills are great. The Dolphins really came on. Um,
The Jets are still bad, but they're still better than us.
yeah, the Jets were bad, but things could have been different if Rodgers didn't get hurt in the first 4 minutes of his game. I mean, that really was a
That's
bummer.
true. That's true.
So our offense was rough. Ranked 30th in the NFL, 276 yards a game, and only mustered 27 touchdowns. The defense, which wasn't surprising to me under Bill Belichick, was a top 10 defense. They allowed 301 yards a game, 38 touchdowns, and I thought really kept us in a lot of games. I thought
Oh,
the,
definitely.
I thought
Definitely.
the,
I mean, defense, I feel like has rarely ever been a problem. Like, I mean, 20 years it was ran through time. And, to have that longevity in a quarterback is still amazing. But like we've always maintained a solid defense
yeah,
throughout the other side of the ball. Like, yeah, you got to put points on there to win, but like our defense kept us out of looking like we were 4-13. But there were some people that like when we lost by what, like 10 to the Dolphins, and then they went and put 70 up the next week. Like, and we
right,
we
right.
never lost, we never took a lot. Our defense never made us look that bad.
No, I mean, and you had close games against good teams. I mean, look at the season opener against Philly. I mean, you battled
Hmm.
back and almost, if not for Kayshon Boutte having 1 foot out on that last drive, you might have pulled it off. So they
Yeah,
were they were in games, and the defense managed to finish out top 10. In spite of losing Matt Judon and Christian Gonzalez too, so they were
right.
really
Yeah, that
without
was without two stars,
right.
the
So
two biggest stars, arguably.
definitely, and it's good. It was good to see Gonzalez play well early on. Hopefully, he can stay durable and be a real key piece for the long foreseeable future. But the biggest thing that I think was a problem was the quarterback position. And Mac Jones, you and I think are on the same page with Mac Jones. Neither of us are real fans of his. And I think he really let them down. Now
He
there are,
did.
yeah, and there are a lot of things that you can blame that on. I've seen fingers pointed at the coaching staff, and I've seen fingers pointed at Mac. I think it's a combination of everything. I think by the end he was just so mentally fragile and shook that he just couldn't perform anymore. Um, and I think hopefully, his tenure as a Patriot is done. I
Probably. I
yeah,
mean, this is a lot of what college sports does is people think that you're ready to go up and do this professionally, and those first 2-3 years in the door, and it's not what you thought it was. And
right,
especially
yeah,
coming to a place like the Patriots, who like their theme is do your job. Like this is work. This isn't
right,
gonna be fun. This isn't gonna be a vacation.
yeah.
Like you got drafted here to continue to work.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I mean he just he really let him down. And Bailey Zappi, for as much as I like him, and I do, I'm wearing his jersey right now. He as you can see by the stats, he didn't perform much better. I mean, he did win some games for us. He did show, he definitely looked more competent and the offense seemed to respond to him better, but I think in the long haul, I'm not sure either of them are the long term answer for us at quarterback. And that really poses a lot of interesting questions this offseason, um, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. But,
Hmm.
we saw our last Bill Belichick coached game. Like I said, he took over when you and I were probably 10, 11 years old. And
Hmm.
so it's truly the end of an era. And I think he showed that he could still coach. But I'm not really surprised he hasn't gotten a job yet. I'm not
Me
sure.
neither. Um, I mean, a lot of people are saying what everybody is saying, which is that he requires too much power.
Hmm.
And and I've been, of course, everybody would think that that's not something you're not going to imagine about Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has only reported to Robert Kraft for the past 20 years. Like, if he wants something done, there's no other approval that he needs. He needs one yes or one no.
Right.
And he's going to make the decision to do whatever he wants to do based off of that yes or no.
Hmm.
And to bring that form of system in anywhere else in the league, you're going to have to fire a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
And
heard that was kind of the sticking point with Atlanta. They were worried that he would just completely
and
overhaul their staff.
And they said, but was somebody from Atlanta leaked that like he didn't state that he wanted the power like that. So I was like, but that's still something that I think people would anticipate him in wanting. So that could influence your decision even coming in. Like, this man has been like this meeting would usually on the Patriots side would just be you and Bill. Like, because
Hmm.
Bill doesn't need anyone else in the meeting to decide whether he wants to hire or fire you.
Right. Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, where we go to his meeting with the Falcons, probably 5, 6 people,
Hmm.
and like you don't get that many meetings in New England. Like, there's probably like a 3 people meeting, and then you meet with Bill, and Bill says yes or no, like, and that's it.
Yeah. No, it's true. And, I mean, there's obviously a lot of, local sports talks about this all the time. And for me, I think, his best option would be to kind of jump into a ready-made situation. Say that the Cowboys decide to fire Mike McCarthy next year, or, a team that is like one or two pieces, maybe a strong head coach away, already has a team put together, is that close to a championship and bills enough to put them over the top. I think that's probably his best bet versus,
Oh
going
no,
and trying to rebuild a team at 72 years old.
I mean, I understand that, but at this, I also feel like he should probably take a year off.
Yeah,
Like you
no,
said, you're
that, yeah,
72. Like, bro, go golfing, like go sailing,
sit on your boat. Yeah,
go. Like, matter of fact, sit at home on Sunday and watch football. Like,
right.
just sit at home or do what Tom does, and like that's what I'm saying. Like, what if he started like him and Tom doing Fox News, like doing the Fox football.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then like him and like during halftime show or whatever, it's him and Tom talking, and it's like get that money from the side. Like get all you don't need to be the pressure. You got enough rings. You've
Oh,
done it
yeah.
enough time. Your resume is immaculate.
Yeah, the
Like,
Patriots are still paying him. I mean,
of
he's
course, I
set.
mean, but even
Yeah,
besides that, but I mean,
right.
like, just still, the point of it is you have nothing. I mean, I feel like he's got to feel like he has to prove that he can get a ring without Tom,
Mhm.
and you don't.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you don't. You really don't. Because
No, that
technically speaking, I mean, well, now with the one, nah, he still got one more total because he got the 8 rings with the Giants.
the
'Cause
Giants, yeah.
yeah, so he technically still has one more. You still have one more than Tom.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know, I think that's kind of a personal thing for him, and he's also like I think it's like 17 wins shy of the all-time, Don Shula's all-time win record. I think he would
Yeah,
like to surpass that
but
if
that's
he
gonna take
can.
like 2 more seasons.
Right, exactly. So,
Unless you go
and
on
it
another
wasn't
oh
gonna it
07 season, like it's
right,
just like a miracle season that you just wipe everybody off the board.
right. No, I know. So, it's sad to see him go, but it's exciting to think about the future. And that kind of, leads me to our next segment. And that's, kind of the off-season highlights so far. And
Yeah.
it's really been all coaching hires and, the Patriots, the most significant, being the Patriots promoting Gerard Mayo to head coach. But they've hired a new offensive coordinator, Alex Van Pelt from the Cleveland Browns, former quarterback, and called some plays, has some play calling experience, and also Ben McAdoo, who coached the New York Giants at one point. He brought was brought on kind of in a, I guess, advisory role. They
Sure.
promoted DeMarcus Covington, who's the
Hmm.
defensive line coach, to defensive
To
coordinator.
once Gerard got bumped up.
Right, which I like a lot because the D line was a strong suit for us.
Hmm.
Special teams coordinator Jeremy Springer, Dante Hightower has come on as linebackers
That's gonna be
coach.
good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I thought it was interesting that Brian Belichick, I didn't write every single coaching hire down, but I thought it was interesting that Brian Belichick decided to stay on as safeties coach. Because his brother Steven took the defensive coordinator job at the University of Washington. So maybe there is still some amicable relations between Belichick and the Crafts. I don't know, but I just thought that was interesting. But let's talk about Gerard Mayo because obviously that's the big one. The first new head coach we've had in a very long time. What are your thoughts on Mayo moving
I
up?
love it. I mean, I love it, man. I love it for my boy. Um, they say yeah, I forgot the exact number, but I know it was like 300 and something. There have been 300 other head coaching like move arounds in the time that Bill has been in New England.
Yeah.
Like they have hired and fired 300 coaches off and around the league, and the whole time he's been here. So this is this is a new like it's a new era. Whether that dynasty is going to be good or bad, it's still gonna. This is still going to be new,
Right.
and I definitely urge all fans to not expect everything to change immediately.
Mm,
I do like the fact that he has come out and said like we're gonna spend some money.
mm.
Like we're gonna spend some money. We're gonna get like we got. I know they talk about trading away the number three draft pick, which I don't think. I mean that depends on whether or not they want to go with a quarterback or not.
Yeah, well, and we'll definitely get to that in a minute.
Hmm.
I've got a whole thing about
But
that, but yeah.
we got I believe it's seven. We got seven picks,
Hmm. Something like
and
that. Yeah.
we got seven picks that we can do with, and we can draft some people. We got free agency options, and we got money to spend.
Yep.
And I do believe that the team is going to change, and it's going to be very fluid for the next maybe 2 3 seasons.
Mm.
Where they're going to try to, I mean, with the exception of defense, like I feel like defense is where it needs to be. They're gonna enforce and harden on things on defense, but
Yeah.
like as far as offense is concerned, it's gonna be fluid. And until they can get someone strong and sturdy enough at QB who's like, okay, we can take this and move it. Now we've got our person that we can build around. Because I feel like Zappy kind of like all last season I wanted them to start Zappy and they didn't
Yeah.
do it.
Same.
So
Yeah.
I don't. I feel like he deserves a season start. I feel like he deserves to have a chance to take control of the team.
At least compete. Yeah.
Yeah, to like
Yeah.
get like what I'm saying, like get a chance to fight for your right to be the starter. But
Hmm.
also like if you want to draft somebody from USC, who is that? What's his name? Caleb. That's coming up.
Well, Jaden Daniels is the guy out of USC.
Right.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm sorry. Caleb Williams is USC. Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels is LSU.
So I'm
Sorry.
saying if you want to get one of these people, like you got the money to do so. They're gonna be rookies, so you offer them a rookie contract, so you're still not spending a lot of capital money.
Right.
You get them a good rookie contract. You come in and you do your job, and we can talk something good in 2 years, and then we can bring in some wide receiver talent. We can trade some people. We can,
Hmm.
we're gonna spend some money. So like I feel like the the team, the system. I feel like the system is going to change, and I feel like the system needed to change.
Yeah, definitely. And with Hightower, you've got a or not Hightower, Mayo, you've got a guy and Hightower too, but you've got a guy who, he spent his whole playing career in New England.
Hmm.
He's,
He's been a coach there since 2019.
right, he's coached under Bill, so obviously like maintaining the excellence of the Patriots will be important to him. I heard Matt Judon interviewed during Super Bowl week this past week, and he actually said that the defense is going to shift to a more aggressive approach, which is cool to hear. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that obviously Mayo I think is more of a defensive guy. I'm curious to see what his offensive philosophy will be. And obviously that's going to have to do a lot with the new coordinator and staff
Hmm.
as well. And like you said, things like the draft and free agency. Um, but I think that, we will maintain a strong, the defense has a chance to improve under him.
Right.
And,
And they will. I
and,
mean,
all,
I feel like the defense isn't gonna get worse. Like
no,
we're number 7. I feel like we'll probably be a top 5 defense next season, easily.
yeah,
And
yeah,
the only question is gonna be, will we be able to put up the points?
right, right. And that's what Judon said. He said, they asked him, who do you want to see at quarterback? He said, I don't care, just score some points. And that was, that was a big thing. And it was frustrating. I mean, I watched so many games with my dad, and he was always yelling, about how defense is doing their job and the offense just continually let them down. The defense would get off the field, and then the offense would sputter out. And so that takes me to the next 2024 offseason priorities. And on the offensive side of the ball, it's really everything. It's
Everything.
Yeah,
We need a new holder for the field goal kicker. We need to do everything.
yeah,
Um,
and the top three I thought were obviously quarterback, wide receiver. They were so thin at. I thought outside of Demario Douglas, the rookie out of Liberty, they had there. He had a real promising year. But other than that, I was really not impressed. Juju Smith-Schuster, that swap for Jacoby Myers really didn't
yeah,
pan out. That was rough. Devontae Parker has moments where he looks like he's all right, but he's just not consistent.
that was like, I
Um,
don't. We could have a whole new lineup this
right,
fall
right.
on
And I thought
offense.
I thought Hunter Henry did what he could at tight end. He's been steady, I think, but he's a free agent, so who knows what's going to happen with him. And then the offensive line. The offensive line was in shambles, I thought. I think you really need two tackles. Um, Trent Brown is also a free agent. He didn't seem like he was on good terms with the team, so he'll probably be gone. Um, and Mike Owenu, I think, is one of their, you know, at guard has done a nice job. David Andrews will be back at center, but you really need a left and right tackle, which you can address in the draft. I'm not sure who's available in free agency, but there are supposedly some good tackles in the draft. Um, and
I love when the draft is about big men.
yeah, and then I thought running back was solid this year. Our guy who we've been with since day one, Ramondre Stevenson, got hurt, but I thought Zeke did a nice job in his stead. To be honest with you, I wouldn't mind seeing him come back as a
That was
number
a one
two.
year. That was a 1 year contract, right?
I think so. I think that was a 1 year deal. But who knows what kind of interest he'll draw. I thought he did a nice job. I
Like
thought he
he
played.
pulled his weight. He pulled his weight,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah. In
Um,
spite of being on a team that was going nowhere, he could have
right.
easily shut it down and not cared. But he was a pleasant surprise. And then a defense. Like I said,
Because
I think our
we need those type of players. Because he was with the Cowboys. So many disappointing seasons. So we need
right,
somebody that knows, like, all right, we're not doing good, but this isn't because of that. We can still fight. Like, we can still go out there and produce. And you do want somebody that knows the downs as well as the highs. That way,
right.
they can be a motivational force on your team.
Yeah. No, no, absolutely. And hopefully Stevenson comes back healthy and regains his form from a year ago because he was, our I think definitely our leading offensive player. Um, and then on defense, I think they're pretty well set. I think they could draft that linebacker possibly. They're a little thin there, but otherwise, extend Christian Barmore. I thought he had a great year. He really broke
Hmm.
out, and then also re-signed Kyle Duggar at the safety position. I thought he was really good. And he's a difference maker. He's a playmaker. He returned
Hmm.
multiple interceptions for touchdowns this year. He hits hard. He's good in the run game. I think that with all the money we do have, you know getting those guys back is a priority. And then as far as cornerback goes, Christian Gonzalez is coming back. You've still got Jonathan Jones. on the other side. So you're going to have a strong defense. It's really more on the offensive side of the ball that real work needs to be done.
Definitely. And I don't care what type of offense we set up. We set up a run offense, we set up a pass offense. I feel like we're gonna I still want to give Zappy a chance.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, I do. Like, part of me, like, I feel like he deserves the chance that we gave Mac. Like, if anything, at least that. Like, my man, he hasn't started the season. He hasn't, he came out, he got what, six, what was that?
Six
Nine,
starts,
yeah,
six
six
starts.
starts, and
He
we
did
was
some
already
spot
trash.
duty stuff.
You
Yeah,
know, yeah, and like, but his performance comparable to whenever you compare him to Mac in those stats, he's usually better. Like, for the amount of games that he's played versus the amount of games that Mac has played, he's done better. And so I feel like if you were like, I mean, hopefully he's already back in the lab working, like showing them like, all right, bro, I want this. This you gotta be. Hopefully you're there showing that you're hungry.
right,
Like, you
right.
gotta you gotta be showing that you want this because it's a whole new day. It's a whole new system. We you might not be on the team and come free agency.
Yeah, I mean they cut him in camp last year. It was
Mm-hmm.
and I and like you said, even if it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, I just think the offense looked better when Zappy was in. He
Definitely. I
more
feel like
decisive.
yeah, it was. I feel like there was more confident ball play,
Yeah,
and I just feel like if he had the chance to really like, but you need to once again you need to show that you're worth giving that effort to.
yeah, no, definitely, yeah, and
And
it
because I
should.
mean, I don't think we should just hire somebody. We should just draft somebody and give them the reins because you don't like, as everyone sees, coming from college to the league is different. Like, a lot of people fold. Like, you look real good in college, but a lot of people fold that first season.
No, absolutely. There's no guarantees in the draft with quarterbacks, and I don't personally believe in just throwing a guy in there. I think that the guys who have had the chance to sit behind somebody for a year or two, I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes, look at a guy like Jordan Love who sat behind Aaron Rodgers. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a much better route than just throwing a young kid in there with no experience. And so let's get into that because the 2024 draft should be real interesting. This is really uncharted waters for us. I mean, we haven't had a pick this high, I think, since Drew Bledsoe, since they took him first overall. And there are many different theories out there as to what the Patriots could and should do. But some of the top available players in the draft now, that obviously there are more, but you've got quarterback Caleb Williams out of USC is kind of the consensus guy. Everybody has at number one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Drake May out of North Carolina, Jaden Daniels out of LSU. You've got the wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., son of Colts wide
Mm-hmm.
receiver Marvin Harrison, who played with Peyton Manning. And then I threw in a tackle there, Joe Alt out of Notre Dame as the top rated tackle in the draft. Now, two out of those three quarterbacks, Williams and Daniels, they're more mobile type type quarterbacks. They say that Drake May is more of your standard pocket passer,
Mm-hmm.
but he can move some. Um, and so those are your top three guys. And from what I hear, Williams is, like I said, he's the consensus one. Most people have him going to the Bears. Beyond
Mm-hmm.
that, people are a little iffy. They say that May, he does have all the tools as a passer. And then Daniels is can be electric, but is a bit of a project. Um, Marvin Harrison Jr. is supposed to be a generational talent. And so there are different ideas about what the Patriots should do. Obviously, the most you know obvious choice is for them to take a quarterback at three. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but a
Obvious.
theory,
That yes, that's the smartest choice.
well, it could be. Um, but there are guys further
But
down.
I feel like Joe will be available later.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
I feel like Joe would still be there after they grabbed the quarterback.
yeah, and that is one route that they could go. And but like we said, there are even with a guy like Caleb Williams, there are no guarantees with any of these guys. And with him, there's some major kind of personality concerns. I don't know if you saw him jump up in the stands after the loss and was crying in his mother's arms. That was on national TV. So you got to worry about some of the mental toughness of some of these guys too. They evaluate everything when it comes to this. And
I mean, I understand that, but I also understand that what you guys need to understand is when that happened, this man wasn't. He's not. You're not paying him at this point.
oh,
Yes,
he
he's
is getting
getting.
paid. He is
Oh,
getting paid.
they get paid
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. The NIT, the college athletes, they're paid now. Yeah.
Oh well, shoot, yeah. Well, then you
He's
can't be
already
crying
made
on TV.
millions.
So
He's
you
already
can't be
made
crying on
millions.
TV. Look, that was gonna be my only defense. I was like, you just so now you can't be crying on TV if you're getting paid now.
Right.
But at the same time, you see Steph cry. You see these
Oh,
people who've
yeah.
been doing this forever, and they
Oh,
cry.
sure.
But it's also like you remember when you had a job that was like low level in the company, and you see somebody crying in training, you're like, they're not gonna last. Like
Well, yeah. And I understand tearing up. I mean, this was sobbing,
yeah,
sobbing in his
I
yeah.
remember the video.
Yeah, but anyway, beyond that, here's an idea that I like, and that, if you're not convinced, say Caleb Williams goes at one, and you're not convinced about Mayor Daniels, like you're not damn sure that this is the guy you want. There are quarterbacks who will be available in the offseason,
Jacoby
and
not coming back.
no, maybe not Jacoby, but I like the idea of trading a third round pick, and they said that's what the compensation would be for Justin Fields, bringing him in, and then taking a Marvin Harrison Jr. at 3, and kind of building an offense through the draft around that, having Fields be your bridge guy, taking a quarterback further down and developing him. I mean, I like that idea if you're not sold on May or Daniels, because I don't think you're going to get Williams.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
I don't know what your thoughts on Justin Fields are.
I didn't really have many thoughts on him. Um,
He's got a big arm. He can run.
he's currently with the Bears, right?
Right.
So the Bears would so we're assuming that they're gonna draft Caleb and then get rid of Justin.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is all speculation and just whatever. But
I don't know. He can scramble.
oh yeah.
Um, so I mean that makes him look better than May. Like I said, like with the way you described it, getting Marvin Harrison, bringing over Justin Fields, that, and then you got somebody who does have some form of they have league experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like the way you just like I said, I was just taking it and thinking about it and the way you said it was that could work. That could
Yeah.
work.
It's
And then
intriguing
like
to
I
me.
said, and then still Joe would still be ready down the line.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, you take a tackle, and there are guys who are kind of in the second tier down in the draft, guys like Michael Penix, who played in the national championship game. This kid Spencer Rattler. There are other quarterbacks available, and that way you can put them on the bench. You still have a young guy coming up in the ranks, and you've got, like I said, it's really a bridge guy. In Fields is still young. Who knows if he plays well and he's who you like, you can always extend him too. I mean,
And that yeah, with the seeing that way it would work more along the line with giving Zappy a still fighting chance. Like you
yeah,
gotta compete, but versus like them drafting your replacement.
hmm.
Like you can compete with Fields. I don't know how you would do. I mean, who knows? Like I said, that it might be the competition you need. It might be the spark that you get, but like them two together, I
as
don't
long
know.
as long as it's not Mac Jones, man. Anybody but Mac.
He just needs to go.
Dude,
I don't know where he's gonna land, but he need to get up out of here.
right, and for his own good too. I mean, I think that it's just over here, and And if I have to watch him take another snap as the Patriots starting QB, man, that's really going to test my patience as a fan. That like not much could get me to
I
walk
don't believe
away.
he start. I don't believe he's going to start this season. I really don't. No matter what gets said or done, like I know he's not going to start this season.
Right.
The first thing that Mayo's going to do is not going to be to put him back in the starting. That's not going to happen.
Hmm.
They
I
already
hope so.
removed this man. Like even though he's been the defensive mind, like if he knew, like especially like when the rumors started that Bill was leaving, they knew that he was leaving. So Mayo was like, all right, even though I'm still only in charge of defense right now, he's been working on these offensive decisions.
Hmm.
And I'm sure his offensive plan don't got Mac in it nowhere.
I hope so. I hope that, and I hope you like you said, you've got money to spend in free agency. There are guys rumored to be available, like Mike Evans from Tampa. I would
Mm-hmm.
really like to see him come in. And the other thing, this was a wacky one I heard on the radio the other day. It was Colin Coward was talking about it, and then the local Boston guys brought up this trade of the Patriots and the Vikings swapping first round picks. So the Vikings moving up to 11 from 11 to 3, and giving us that pick, their first round pick, another pick, and Justin Jefferson for our third overall pick. Um, that's intriguing, but it puts us in a slightly different position. I mean, you'd have a bona fide number one receiver. You definitely, you've got 1 year left on his contract. He'll demand top of the market pay, but he is, arguably the best receiver in the league, if not, top three. Um, so I mean, just for the heck of it, what are your thoughts on that?
You said Justin Jefferson
Yeah, yeah,
for the number 3 pick.
yeah. You'd swap, so you move down to 11,
Uh,
and then you'd
yeah.
also get another pick, a future pick, or something like that. I think that one's pretty
Um,
far out, but
That one, yeah. But I mean, if we had someone under center, then that would be a good time to then draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and get Justin Jefferson. And then we just got to worry about who's under center if we got a good enough person with skill to deal with those two stars.
yeah, because you got to get him the ball.
At
That's yeah,
that point, we got, I'm saying? We got it. But, and then I was also looking at how much cap space we got. We got 240 mil.
yeah. I mean,
And
you've got the money to if you
you know
want
what
to
I'm saying? So
extend him.
we got it's I don't think we've ever had this much money
Mm.
and like we're determined to spend it.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have
Like
to.
so it's like I'm very, very interested in watching the Patriots go on a spending spree.
And that's one thing that I would hope to see, I guess, change or improve in that the Patriots have been notorious in the past for
Pinching
not
pennies.
not spending, yeah, not spending at the top of the market for talent. And when you have Tom Brady, he's going to cover up a lot of holes, right? And not
Mm-hmm.
that they've never spent. I mean, they brought in Darrell Revis, they paid
Randy
Stephon
Moss.
Gilmore,
I
Randy
mean,
Mott.
we
Yeah, yeah, they've spent, but it's like, I think they're in a position where they can't
I
afford
mean,
not
we
to.
could make. I feel like we could make a new '07 team, like with Mike Vrabel, the Teddy Bruschi, the Rodney Harrison. Like we can put this bread up, and we can make a monster team.
Mm,
And but the problem is offense. What can we do? Because the defense is there. The
right.
defense is really there, like that. But we can make defense great because the defense is good, but the
Mm,
offense is awful. It's awful. It's trash. It's garbage. Like
yeah,
and like we need somebody like somebody got to score these points. Like
yeah.
I don't care if we get an all-star running back that takes direct snaps and just do it myself. Like if you're gonna go off like Adam Sandler in the longest yard, like do it yourself. Like somebody got to get them points on the board.
No, you're right. You're right. And it's just there's a lot of needs there, and it's
It's
I
a
don't
lot, but
there's not one
we got a
answer.
lot of money
Yep.
and we got a lot of picks. And like I for one feel like if we used all 7 picks and just made the league mad again, make them hate us all over again. We draft everybody. Everybody come over here. We're gonna figure it out. Cause now, like, if we don't want to keep you, we can trade you.
Right.
We still holding all the cards.
Hmm.
But we took like somehow trade the Bears out their number one spot for something. I don't know. I don't know it, but we get Caleb Williams and just turn the league upside down
Mm.
because it's all but certain that he's going to Chicago.
Right. Yeah, I mean that would take, that would be interesting if they jumped up. And I was just, listening to a podcast before I jumped on here, and they actually mentioned that. They said that, like, they're like, if you want a quarterback, you know, go, make it happen. Go up to number one, because Williams is, if there's anybody who's like the guy, supposed to be the
Mhm.
guy, it's him. I think
Like
you've
it
got,
would be, I feel like he would be a great fit for a new system.
yeah,
Like a new day, it's a new day in Patriots. We got him. We got now we like then because if we get him next round, we go Joe Alt or we grab Marvin if he's still there.
yeah, he'll go high. He's
Yeah, Marvin's. I mean, that's say if he's still there, but we might. But I mean, whatever. Some 3-4 way trade that somehow gets like we don't get Marvin, but we still get Justin Jefferson somehow. Like you know what I'm
right,
saying?
or
Like
Mike Evans, or yeah,
yeah, somebody
yeah.
whatever. Like we trade the pick to get the player that nobody just in a way that nobody even thought was possible, but he been working on for like the past 2 weeks.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it should be interesting, man. And I was gonna say, we gotta check in again at draft time, or like right after the draft, and do another one of these, and see
I
how
say we
everything
wait till
shakes
like
out.
I said we wait till like the week before like preseason game one, so we can see what everything because like that's just gonna be the draft is gonna be the top of the roller coaster. We ain't even gonna have gone down yet.
That's
Like
true.
we're saying, we need to see summer camp and all
Yeah,
this, that, and the third, and then it's gonna get crazy. And I feel like right before week one, we need to see we need to check in then and be like, because
right.
this is what's on paper, and this is what
True.
we did in the off season. And we did a lot of free trade. We did some stuff that we didn't even think that you and I didn't even discuss was a
Mhm.
possibility that probably gonna end up happening.
Right. Yeah. And so speaking of that, looking ahead, these are all there's no schedule yet, but here's all the Patriots opponents for 2024. And to me, that's not an easy looking schedule.
That doesn't look easy at all. Well,
No. So you've got,
I don't see our first win coming to the Jets.
I
I
mean,
mean,
we'll,
I was
yeah,
looking at them in order, but that's not. I don't know if it's
yeah. I
up
don't know
down,
the
up down.
order either. These are just
You
our
know, like even
opponents.
if it's up down, up down, up down, I still like. I don't see our first coming to the Jets. That's the way game. That's it.
So, yeah, your beatable opponents on there. I mean, the Cardinals, I think you can beat the Colts. They've had the Chargers number in the past. The Titans, the Jags. But there's no guarantees against Seattle. The
Bills is
Bengals.
probably gonna whoop us again.
Who was that? The Bill. Oh yeah, the Bills are strong.
The Bills,
Yeah,
the Texans,
you
the
got the Niners
Dolphins.
on there.
You know, this ain't gonna be a fun schedule.
No, the Rams are good.
This is gonna be this is gonna be a do your job season.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be they've got their work cut out for them. And I thought last year's schedule was tough too. So there's no breaks really. And even teams like
We're gonna lose the bye week.
The Texans now are, tough with
Yep.
CJ Stroud. And if Joe Burrow comes back with the Bengals, I mean, it's a tough one. And
I feel like the Cardinals will be our test because they're struggling to reform themselves like we are, but they've had
right.
2 more seasons to do it.
Yeah, it seems like they're going with Kyler Murray too. They don't
And he
seem.
needs to say if he can stay healthy, they'll beat us.
Well, yeah, they could, yeah. Um, but yeah, they're a team that's not really. You're right. They're kind of rebuilding. Because outside of him, I can't really think of any standout players. I think Hollywood Brown's one of their receivers. He's all right. Um, James Conner at running back, but it's gonna be another year of tough sledding, and I think that we'll win more than 4 games. But my hope for them this year, And obviously, we always want them to play awesome. And I think that the playoffs might be a bit of a pipe dream. But, if they are, when you watch like NFL Network and they're like previewing the playoffs and they've got that like teams that are in the hunt
I
category.
think we'll beat the Bills once.
Yeah.
We'll beat the Cardinals. I think we'll beat the Dolphins once. We'll lose to the Rams. Unless depending on where that is in the schedule, like they may have gotten some injuries by then.
And if it's a cold weather game, like a late season cold weather game.
Then we might, yeah. A late season cold weather game, yeah. January, December,
Yeah, it all
we
depends
might
where.
be where we are in the season. If that's week one at home, like, oh damn, we gonna take that as an L. Jacksonville, they usually struggle late in the season.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed. I kind of expected more out of them this year. Trevor Lawrence, he was a bit of a
That's
letdown.
usually how they do every year, man. They start off great. Everybody's always talking about them, and then like week 7, 8 come along, somebody gets injured, then they go into a bye week and they never come back the same.
Yeah, and the Seahawks will have a new coach, so
Mm-hmm.
who knows what that. Geno Smith has played well, but there's no that's a winnable game at home. I think. Um,
Yeah.
Away at San Fran, forget it. Um,
Um, Maybe if it's cold, because if we're used to it being cold and we get to go somewhere and play and it's 80 degrees, that's
uh,
gonna be better for us.
yeah, that team is just so stacked, but
I know. But
but
we deserve to play them in the regular season. It's been so long since
it's
we've
true.
even played them in a regular season scenario.
Yeah,
Um, I can't even remember the last time.
it
I
must
think
have
it was when
been.
they had Garoppolo, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Garoppolo kind of made us look bad. I think that was the last time we played them. They
Yeah.
they they cleaned up on us pretty good. Um, who knows what'll happen with him next year because it doesn't look like he'll be starting in Vegas.
Purdy show now. It's the Purdy show over there.
Well, yeah, but Garoppolo's
Oh
in
yeah. He said Vegas.
Vegas now. But they that kid Aiden O'Connell finished out the year. They kind of benched him. Um,
He
so
gonna try to come back. Hey, y'all remember me? Y'all want to? I
I
heard y'all starting over.
I
Y'all
always
want
like I always like
I
Jimmy.
like him too, but like I feel like his time. He's had 2 shoulder surgeries now.
Yeah,
I say, we don't need you no more. We don't need you. We need you to throw. Uh,
right.
Unless they put titanium in your arm, we don't need you no more.
Yeah, and that was with Josh McDaniels getting fired and all that out in Vegas, that was a tough go for them. Um, so, but we've got the Super Bowl tomorrow. I'm not really all that invested in it. I don't know.
Not even a little bit. Not
Yeah,
I look. I just checked today to make sure I was actually going to be able to watch it. Like I didn't even care. Like, I was like, do I even have that channel? And I do, so I am going to watch it. So
I'm not gonna lose sleep over it.
not at all. Not. I'm not losing not a little bit of sleep.
I got work Monday morning, but I was
I got to
I
work
was
Sunday morning.
yeah, I was pulling for the Lions, man. If they were in it, I would have actually, been a little more excited just because they've been so awful for so long and they were so close. They really choked in that one. I thought they should have won.
They went. That was they went to 2 field goals when they shouldn't have, right?
Well, they went for it on fourth down
Instead of kicking field
when they could
goals.
have kicked field goals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on, man. That's 6 points, and y'all lost by 3.
Yeah, and they were up by
And
two scores. Yeah, it just, it was
should have
disappointing
been.
because that
It
that
was, but it's part of the script, and we can't
yeah.
talk about that.
I don't think they'll be back anytime soon either, unfortunately. I think, that was kind of a
I think they'll
lightning.
be back. I think they'll at least be back to the playoffs next season.
Yeah, yeah, but I think that,
Hey,
yeah, well, we'll
if they
see.
get the Cowboys, if they get the Cowboys in the first round, we at least know they're going to go round 2 because Cowboys can't never make it out of there.
Seriously, I don't know what their deal is, but whatever. I mean, Cowboys fans are obnoxious anyway, so what are you gonna do? But
Hmm.
yeah, no, and obviously it's the whole Taylor Swift Bowl with Travis Kelsey and all that. That just makes me
Number
not.
13,
It makes me
13's everywhere.
nauseous. I
It
can't I
does,
can't
man.
stand it.
I can't stand the way football has been turned into stats about Taylor Swift.
Ugh.
But I guess it's what we need to become more international because they said we got what for the first time ever we're playing in Brazil next year.
I just don't get the hype, man. I've never understood it with her. I
Somebody's
don't.
getting some. Oh, what you talking about Taylor Swift?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you know I don't know. I'm just ready for them to break up because every time she breaks up, she makes a good album. So
yeah, yeah.
if they lose, they'll probably break up, and then she'll make the greatest album of all time. And then
Yeah. Who knows, man? I don't know. You're right, though. It kind of. I mean, I guess it is bringing in new fans. Like young girls who would have maybe not been into football before, or
they're still not into football now. They just know she's there. Like
right,
now instead of
right.
now they're watching the television instead of in their phones.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they'll start. I
That's
guess they'll start to learn.
yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. I
But
mean,
I've shifted over to the Celtics, and I'm pretty invested
looking
in
good at basketball. So like, so that's usually how it goes though. Because look at how the Pistons started off this season.
whew, yeah, seriously.
So you got to sacrifice one team for the other one to be great.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's true. And
And
I
that's the
think
problem
that
with LA. They have too many teams.
yeah, yeah. You got LeBron and Steph out there. That's.
And then you got
Um
the Clippers going ham.
yeah, that's true. They're good too. Yeah, no, they're all good out there. The Kings are too. Yeah, all California
Listen,
teams are good.
California got too many options. They got too many options for
Yeah. So, but I think this year, if the Celtics don't do it this year, it's a fail. They're so stacked. They're so, they're more Tatum and Brown are more mature at this point. The
facts.
team looks real good, and I think this could be their year. So that
I
should be
agree.
interesting.
I agree. I hope it is. I hope they don't, because I feel like last year they literally just choked. I think it was I think it was a Taylor Swift. They did a Taylor Swift thing about last year about how about them losing last year because they're like whatever game she goes to, the other team loses. Like I remember it being something like that, or wherever she had toured in the city, and she had just done the Boston tour or something like that. We're like, oh, we're
Uh,
gonna lose now, and like they're bringing her into all the freaking sports, bro. Because I do remember them talking about her like last year.
Dude, playoff Jimmy Butler is just a different animal, man.
Yeah,
He
nah, f
just
that. It was Taylor Swift.
uh, yeah, no, I know. We'll
Nah, it's
blame it.
any.
We'll blame it all on Taylor.
I
That's right.
mean, hey, they didn't have Tyler Hero. He didn't have nobody out there. It's just
Keep her,
Jimmy
keep her
Butler,
away from the Boston Garden this spring. We don't need her
all
anywhere
that,
near.
all of
Yeah,
that. Keep her away.
yeah,
She's gonna go there and get that money.
yeah. Oh well. All right, man. Well, this has been fun. Thanks for coming on. I always appreciate it.
Always
You
good,
got
man.
anything
Always.
you want to promote or plug, or have you put out anything on your channel lately?
I have done nothing in so long, and I'm glad I did this because I've been needing to do something.
Same,
So
same.
glad we did this, and I definitely want to. Like last time, like we said, it's been years since we did the last one, and we said,
Right.
"Oh, we're gonna do like a mid-year check-in." We didn't do none of that. So like this year, I definitely want to be up on it and do a preseason check-in, and make sure we stick true to it this time around, and just keep the content flowing.
Absolutely, man. Well, it's been a pleasure as always, and I'll be in touch, and we'll talk to you soon, bud.
All right, man. You send me that link, bro. And so, I mean, send me the video so I can put it on mine. And
Absolutely.
all right, bro. Love you, man. Good to see
All
you,
right.
like
Love you
always.
too, buddy.